Although the United Kingdom has produced some of the most odd, boundary-pushing cars in motor history, it has also given the world countless iconic vehicles. From quick record breakers to weird mechanical wonders, these vehicles capture the wild side of British driving. Prepare yourself as we count down the 10 maddest British vehicles ever built. 1. If you're daring enough, the Ariel Atom is the public road equivalent of a roller coaster in terms of cars. Without doors, no roof, and not a single piece of useless metal or plastic, it's as if someone looked at a car and said, what if we just didn't bother with half of it? The ultimate result is a machine so modest that its birthday suit resembles a supercar. The Atom, powered by a supercharged 2.0-litre Honda engine, can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds, outpacing several hypercars that cost 10 times as much. Its utter audacity, however, sets it apart. It feels rapid rather than simply moving quickly. You emerge from the driver's seat looking like you've popped your head out of a fighter plane. The wind whips your face and your cheeks flap as if you were in a wind tunnel. The Atom lacks bodywork, not just for laughs, though it does have some incredible reflexes at traffic lights. Its exposed chassis is a work of beauty designed for optimal weight control and handling. This means it corners like it's on rails but doesn't anticipate much comfort. It's about as practical as a lawn chair with an engine. But who needs cup holders when you're enjoying life? For those who are lucky enough to drive one, the Ariel Atom is more than simply a car. It's a sensory experience that will leave you grinning like a fool and wondering why other cars bother with details like windows or roof covers. 2. The Lotus Carlton looked like a decent family saloon. The type you'd see parked outside a suburban home with a baby on board sticker on the back window. Under its modest look, however, was a monster. A 3.6-litre inline-six engine with 2 turbochargers that produced 377 horsepower. Early in the 1990s, that kind of power was enough to make Ferraris eat dust and propel the Carlton to a top speed of 176 miles per hour. This was a controversy, not just a fast car. The Carlton became a media lightning rod, with British newspapers labelling it irresponsible and dangerous. Some even urged that it be fully banned because it was so fast. After all, a car capable of outpacing police patrol units could not sensibly be placed in the hands of regular citizens, or so the officials claimed. Lotus, however, had the final chuckle. They gave their car superb handling and balance, not just a shockingly fast speed. You could take it to the shops for a loaf of bread and then embarrass a few Porsches at a red signal on the way home. Of course, the Carlton had its quirks. It drank fuel like a teenage student at an all-you-can-drink soda bar, and maintenance costs could bring adult men to tears. Nonetheless, its attraction encompassed all of that. The Lotus Carlton demonstrated that a message could be conveyed without a flashy supercar. Sometimes the most sinister vehicles pass for sensible ones, ready to abandon foolish competitors in a cloud of tyre smoke. 3. The Bentley Blower was the vehicle equivalent of a gentleman picking a fight in a pub while wearing a tuxedo. Though under the hood it was a brawler with a supercharged 4.5-litre engine capable of reaching over 100 miles per hour, an incredible speed in the 1920s. On the outside, it was all style and finesse. The Blower became renowned at Le Mans, where it exemplified Bentley's credo: to build a good car, a fast car, the best in its class. Depending on whom you asked, the sheer audacity of adding a supercharger to an already powerful engine was a stroke of genius. Although its dependability occasionally fell short, its performance on the racecourse was impressive. Consider the spectacle of a massive green behemoth racing past sleeker competitors, its driver most likely muttering "pip pip tally-ho" as it goes. Naturally, the Bentley Blower was more than just a racing gear. Its spectacular grille, leather straps over the hood, and massive wheels that seemed like they might rule a muddy war also attracted attention on the road. Whether parked outside a distant manor or cruising through a tiny town at dangerous speeds, this car drew attention. The Bentley Blower is a pre-war automotive classic celebrated for its sheer audacity as much as its performance. It reminds us that British engineering can be both crazy and brilliant. 4. When someone sees a modest delivery van and wonders, what if we gave it the heart of a race car? The Transit Supervan is the outcome. Benevolent behind its modest white facade was a 5.0-litre V8 engine from the Ford GT40, which dominated Le Mans. Indeed, the same engine used to win Le Mans was packed into a transit van. The result is a vehicle capable of reaching speeds of more than 150 miles per hour, leaving sports vehicles screaming into their petrol tanks. The Supervan, designed as a marketing gimmick to highlight the Ford Transit's flexibility, served little purpose. Sure, it had plenty of cargo space, but good fortune kept your groceries intact as you rocket-like rocketed. This van was more at ease on a race course, where its thunderous sound and insane speed made it the perfect head-turner than on a busy street. The Supervan was more than just a one-time curiosity. It spawned offspring. each faster and more wild than the last. Still, the most iconic model from 1971 is the magnificent mashup of usefulness and crazy, which exemplifies the British flair for blending the ridiculous with the wonderful. 5. Rover Jet 1, powered by an actual jet engine, was well ahead of its time. Rover chose to equip an automobile with a gas turbine engine, which was more commonly encountered in aviation, while other cars preferred internal combustion. Why not? The finished result was a futuristic contraption that sounded like a fighter plane poised to take off and resembled something from a 1950s sci-fi film. Despite its jet-powered engine, the Jet 1 was not designed to set speed records. Although its top speed of 88 miles per hour may not appear impressive now, it was innovative in the late 1940s. The promise of a future in which jet-powered cars glide silently down roadways was the car's main selling point rather than speed. There was a spoiler alert. It did not happen. Jet 1 was not known for its utility. The turbine engine generated enough heat to cook a steak while consuming petrol faster than you could say jet propulsion. However, as an experiment, it was pure genius. The Jet 1 paved the way for future improvements and demonstrated British engineering at its most adventurous. 6. The British Fighter T was a vehicle for the daring, eccentric and perhaps slightly mad. Though Bristol's specialists cautioned you against testing it on your local motorway, with a twin-turbocharged 8.0-litre V10 engine producing over 1,000 horsepower, it could theoretically reach 270 miles per hour. The Fighter T was sly rather than just speedy. Its design with gull-wing doors and a sleek but minimalist body resembled a fighter jet in disguise. Bristol Cars, known for their unique handcrafted vehicles, built the Fighter T as a hypercar that doesn't demand attention. It seemed more like James Bond than, look at me, I'm wealthy. Driving the Fighter T was not easy. It required skill and consistency without the use of flashy electronic assistance. It returned with a driving sensation that could make even seasoned petrol heads nervously smile. Though the Fighter T was worth every penny for those who could afford it, it also came with a hefty price tag and maintenance costs that would make any accountant cry. 7. Working as the automotive equivalent of a mad scientist's experiment, the ProDrive P2. This small sports car, based on the Subaru Impreza WRX, was packed with rally-inspired features such as a turbocharged 2.0-litre engine, dynamic differentials and an anti-lag system that sounded like it was firing a machine gun every time you let off of the pedal. Minute? Not at all. The P2, designed by ProDrive, the company behind many motorsport victories, was more than just fast. It was also hilariously amusing. It could float around curves with the grace of a rally vehicle while accelerating like a rocket, going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds. Though it encouraged some sideways deviations on your journey there, the vehicle also contained clever torque vectoring technology to keep you from ending up in a hedge. Unfortunately, the P2 remained an interesting one-off because it never went into production. For those who were lucky enough to see it in action, ProDrive demonstrated that it could take a concept, add a turbo, and create something wild. 8. The JCB Diesel Max demonstrates that even the most unconventional vehicles can be exceptional. The Diesel Max, designed by JCB, a company more known for excavating holes than for establishing speed records, broke the world diesel land speed record on the Bonneville Salt Flats in 2006 at an incredible 350.092 miles per hour. Yes, you heard it correctly. A diesel-powered automobile designed by a digging company outperformed most supercars. The Diesel Max, powered by 2 JCB diesel engines, was a technical miracle. Typically found in construction tools, the engines were substantially modified to produce more than 750 horsepower each. Its aerodynamic, needle-like shape was designed to cut through the air with minimum resistance, giving it a more spaceship-like appearance than something that would draw a gravel trailer. The way Diesel Max contrasts worlds is what makes it so mad. What if we took one of our digger engines and made it fly? Someone at JCB headquarters inquired. They also pulled it off somehow. Though it won't win any awards for practicality, the Diesel Max is a fantastic illustration of British creativity, and a little bit crazy. 9. The Rover Metro 6R4 is the outcome of transforming a small economical hatchback into a fire-breathing rally beast. Designed for the legendary Group B rally era, the 6R4 looked nearly nothing like the normal Metro you'd find parked outside a neighbourhood store. When combined with all-wheel drive, the mid-mounted 3.0-litre V6 engine transformed into a mud-slinging monster capable of ripping up rally grounds at breakneck speed. The 6R4 looked like the Metro had been to the gym, and then some. This was not your standard hatchback. With big wheel arches, a large rear wing, and an aggressive design. It was loud, wild, and completely out of control, just like the Group B rally vehicles it competed against. Rally fans adored it, even if it occasionally appeared to swallow the driver alive. Even though it stopped short of rally supremacy, the 6R4 developed a cult following due to its sheer audacity. Enthusiasts still see it as a symbol of British engineering excess wrapped in the unlikely shell of a Metro. 10. The TVR Cerbera was not a vehicle for the faint of heart or those who were too cautious. The Cerbera was the motor equivalent of a wild stallion. Thrilling, unpredictable, and sometimes dangerous. Known for its overwhelming power and complete lack of modern electronic help, this car commanded respect. It rewarded excellent drivers with tremendous performance while punishing the overconfident with excursions to the nearest ditch. Powered by a variety of engines including TVR's Speed 6 and Speed 8 designs, the Cerbera could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds. However, speed only revealed one piece of the story. Though the cramped interior and questionable build quality put that devotion to the test, its lightweight design and aggressive styling made it a darling among enthusiasts who valued thrill above comfort. The Cerbera was differentiated mostly by its reputation as a driver's car. This car refused handheld driving, so forget about ABS and traction control. Not least of all was its exhaust tone, which sounded like a chorus of agitated lions howling down the street. Despite its oddities, or perhaps because of them, the TVR Cerbera established a cult following among petrol heads who appreciated its straightforward approach to motorsport lunacy. From jet-powered experiments to rally monsters and stealthy hypercars, these insane British creations demonstrate that the motor industry in the UK is about pushing the frontiers of imagination and engineering rather than simply refining. These vehicles serve as a reminder that some of the most amazing machinery ever developed was born out of a little eccentricity. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more British nostalgia coming your way. Cars, culture, and everything in between. Don't miss out on the next blast from the past.